There is always a reason researchers choose to study what they do. Whether it's inherently personal or just something interesting to them, a researcher makes a choice to pursue it over the plethora of other options available to them. Personally, my research is both personal and interesting to me. Choosing to research the emotional impact of being labeled as a gifted student is sure to have challenges, but I'm excited to take them in stride. As someone who spent their entire childhood in their public school's gifted program, I am heavily invested in this thesis. I am currently under the opinion that taking part in the gifted program enhanced many students, including my own, internalized anxieties about performing well in school and fears of speaking up and asking questions. There is not currently a lot of research on the subject, and what has been done has been focused more on the interpersonal aspect of social skills of gifted students, such as in the study on being gifted, sad, and misunderstood by Drs. Vial et al., or specifically use the intelligence as a standard, as opposed to the principle of being labeled as gifted, such as in Garland and Ziegler's correlational study in 1999. However, I believe there is something to be said for the labeling of a student going a long way in regards to how the world sees them, and in turn, how they see themselves. There are multiple ways to begin conducting this research, and I plan to start with the most obvious population, college students. I would like to ask them about how being gifted, or about how not being gifted, has affected the way they carry themselves throughout their schooling, from elementary school all the way to high school. After getting a retroactive perspective from students, I would like to in turn asking students from a variety of grades about their current experiences within their gifted programs and how they feel about being labeled as gifted amongst their peers. Specifically, I am curious as to how it affects students in internalized ways. This can be evaluated through open-ended questions, such as, how do you feel when you don't know the answer to a question or are not confident about the content? How do you react in these situations, and how do you feel afterwards? This is, of course, adjusted to the appropriate grade levels. I would also like to seek out their responses to anxiety tests, seeing how they rank compared to non-gifted peers, because I believe that they will test higher in areas involving internalized anxieties. I would then like to compile this qualitative data and see if there's a trend in comparison to the non-gifted peers. All in all, the project is interesting to me because it encompasses multiple areas of my interest: psychology, mental health, and childhood education. I know this study will evolve as I do throughout my time in my psychology courses, as my classes this year are engineered towards educating students on experimental design, and I'm excited to see this project change as I learn more and more about psychological research and applying it to my life.